Hello, my name is Sam Irizarry, and this is my persuasive presentation. My topic will be on the over-sexualization of our culture through media today. I realize this is a blunt topic, but I ask that you bear with me as I try to explain the media's overuse of sexual content in our culture. I'll try to show how its dominant presence in movies, television, and even video games has taken over our country, and how it warps the minds of millions of men, women, and children on sex, and how it's so seated in our day-to-day we don't even realize how saturated we become with sexuality in our media. Think about your trip to the store. Any Target or Walmart will do. If you find yourself in the magazine aisle, what do you think you would see? Well, magazines would be the obvious answer here, but the real question is what is in those magazines. What is their content? Magazines like Cosmopolitan, Maxim, FHM, Women's Health, just to name a few, all feature something related to sex on their covers on a frequent basis, and some on a monthly basis. Each one of these features articles to better sex, more frequent sex, crazier sex, where to find it, and many other sex-related topics. Even if there's no cover story related to sexuality, there are numerous ads of perfume, cologne, makeup, even cigarette ads that contain some sort of seductive or provocative imagery. With 58% of the magazines on shelves having some sort of lusty charge, that's a lot of sexy ads. The problem here is that too many of these publications appeal mainly to the pleasure seekers. Very little of their content can be attributed to the meaningfulness of sex or even sex with the right person. A lot of young men and women turn to these magazines for advice or tips on how to have a satisfying and pleasurable experience. Television is the most predominant solicitor of sexual content outside of the internet. According to a survey taken by the Henry J. Kaiser Family Foundation, 83% of televised material contains some form of sexual content. Soap operas are in the lead at 85%, followed by sitcoms at 56% and reality shows at 23%. According to a study performed by Professors Dale Kunkel and Karen Isle at the University of Arizona, the number of sexual scenes on television has nearly doubled since 1998. It is also interesting to note that 15% of all scenes featuring intercourse involve characters that have sex just after meeting. Television can now be used as a tool to help socialize young men and women on how to act and treat members of the opposite sex. The concern here is that a majority of young children and teens are left to television unsupervised. This could result in a lot of young people being misinformed on the intricacies of sexual behavior. In fact, this has become such a problem that even the networks are starting to notice, with many requesting that writers start incorporating more safe sex messages. However, it's my personal opinion that sex, even safe sex, isn't the problem. It is the portrayal of sex that has me upset. Now, I'm a married man, and I can attest that sexual behavior is very important to a relationship. In fact, I would go so far as to say that it is almost impossible to have a successful relationship without that level of intimacy. So then why is it that a majority of what I see in the media portrays sex as a flippant response to an immediate urge? This issue has even expanded into the video game industry, albeit not as rampant, but in part still there. Some of today's big titles feature sexual interaction and all-out nudity. It isn't the nudity that really bothers me, it is the over-sexualized manner in which they are displayed. Most of the time they're not even nude. However, it is extremely hard to find a lead female character that isn't a size double D or half their body is out there for the world to see. Fighting games like Soul Calibur, Dead or Alive feature scantily clad women with large chests bouncing around and fighting to their heart's content. You can even adjust the age level, thus controlling the bounciness of the character's breasts. Games like God of War and Duke Nukem Forever and Grand Theft Auto even allow you to engage in sexual acts. At this point, the interactions are more implied than seen, but game developers are implementing the ability for the gamers to make a conscious choice to freely engage in these sexual acts. It's not even a matter of can or can't, merely the context that I ask you to consider. A rather large title like Mass Effect also allows you to perform sexual intercourse with a member of your party. However, this was done in a way that made you actually develop a relationship before committing the deed of intercourse. What resulted was a love scene much in line with many romantic movies. I must be clear. I'm not saying that sex is bad nor that it's dirty or for sinners. I believe sex is a beautiful thing. We were designed to enjoy it and take pleasure in it. However, much like we are made to enjoy food, too much of it can lead to obesity. I believe as far as the media is concerned, we are becoming sexually obese. Again, my point on this topic is not to abolish sex in the media, merely to change its portrayal. I'm tired of being force-fed all this sexual content because that's what some director or writer thinks that that's what I want. More super sex, more money is what they say. And I say less super sex, more quality entertainment content. It is possible to have a game or movie or television show that contains sex for the sake of the story instead of for the sake of itself, which is something I find that pollutes our screens. What I find we get is this. We need some way of getting from this scene to this scene. Throw a sex scene in there. Or, I have this wonderful product. How can I get people to want it? I know, let's throw a half-naked girl behind it. Right now, we stand poised to enter the very industry that is feeding us these fantasies. My intent is to urge all of you to make a difference and stop accepting what they give to us and make us want. Soon, we may be in the position to give, but let us give what is needed and when it is needed. More importantly, let us give quality entertainment without having to rely on cheap thrills or sexual gimmicks. Well, that's pretty much my presentation. That's all I had to say. I hope I didn't put too many of you off, but I felt like this was something that needed to be said. I really thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.